Oh my God.
Let's quickly run through the other ones.
Okay.
Do you want to do all? Every one of us give all 8 picks, or do you want to go series by series?
We'll go series by series.
Okay.
Give your pick.
Let's start in the East. Bucks.
Yep. Don't
and
gotta
the
go
Heat.
super in depth.
I got Bucks in 5.
I got the Bucks taking down the.
I got
the Bucks taking down.
Sweet.
Taking down the
Celtics,
Heat.
Hawks 5.
I got the Celtics taking down the Hawks, right?
Yep.
And probably 6. Probably 6.
Sixers,
Sweet.
Nets.
4-1. I got him 4-1.
Oh,
Okay.
That's probably a 4-1.
Sixers, Nets.
Yeah.
Everybody's going Sixers. I'm going Sixers in a sweep.
Sixers, Nets? Oh,
Yeah,
sweep.
I'm
I was
going
talking
sweep.
about 4-1 on the other one.
Okay, on
Yeah,
the
sweep.
Celtics.
Nets is
so
out
the
of
Hawks
here.
will win a game.
Yeah, Nets out of here.
Celtics, I've got Sixers sweeping the Nets. I've got the Knicks, unfortunately, in 7. Let's go out west. Denver and Golden State.
I got
the Warriors.
No,
wait.
Denver in the 8th seed.
Yeah,
Denver
I'm
in the
sorry.
8th seed.
Yeah, who are the 2 teams playing for the 8?
It is the Thunder and the Timberwolves.
Yeah, I got Oklahoma City winning the play-in, but losing to Denver in 6.
I've got Minnesota beating the Thunder.
Okay.
Right.
And then losing
I
to
see,
Denver.
I see they got religion. Say, go Bear, you come on back here with us. Come on.
I got Minnesota. I got Minnesota
I got them
for
taking them
Thunder.
down.
Oh, okay.
And then Minnesota is going to play Denver, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The winner of the play-in plays Denver.
I got Denver.
Okay.
Real quick, before you go on, I got the craziest stat I've ever heard of basketball.
Okay, yeah, go.
How many players on the Thunder average more than 5 rebounds per game?
7.
Well, you're asking it, so the answer is probably none.
1.
7.
1.
G. Bush is correct.
One guy.
One player on the Thunder averages more than 5
That's
rebounds.
insane.
Are you serious?
But they got like 6 people that average like 4.
They have like 7
Yeah,
guys
they
who average
must.
4 rebounds.
They
But
must.
they have one player, Josh Giddey, their point
That's
guard,
crazy.
who averages over
Their
5
point guard
rebounds
is
a
leading
game.
them in rebounds.
Which is
Well,
why
he's
they-
like 6'7". He just doesn't shoot. He
which
kind
is
of
why
plays
they
the
go-
point guard.
Which is
but
why
yeah.
they're gonna get run out of town.
This series, by the way, is I think one of the most fascinating in the first round.
What's that? Sacramento.
Memphis and the Lakers.
Oh, get up. Sorry, Memphis.
That's great for.
You're going Lakers.
That's great for TV.
It is great for
Hey,
TV.
listen.
Who do you like in that series?
I'm gonna take the Lakers.
See, I took Memphis, but I got him in 7.
Steven Adams is not playing in that series. He's done for the year.
Right.
That's their muscle. That's the thug it up guy.
Yeah.
Jaren Jackson, he's up for Defensive Player of the Year. But then they got to do Pocahontas with the braids, right? Like the two pigtails.
Brooks.
Pocahontas ain't talking about nothing.
So
His plus minus.
you guys are both going Lakers in
I'm going Lakers.
All right.
And I'm not on the Laker bandwagon, but I like.
But
No, the Lakers, with
I-
LeBron, the Lakers put it together.
with D'Angelo
Memphis-
Russell
Memphis
and the moves they made.
By the way, D'Angelo Russell to me is unrecognizable.
Yeah, I know.
Like, he looks so much different from when he played at Ohio
yeah.
State.
I like your boy Memphis. They talk too much.
Yeah, I think there's something to that.
And Ja Morant, I think they brought him down a couple of notches. Now, because one of the things you say about Ja Morant, he played with a swagger. He played with that reckless abandon, like you can't stop me and I'll fight you. And my dad,
Especially in the playoffs.
My dad will too. I got all kind of pistols. I'm bringing the guns to the locker room. Like, come on, Gilbert Arenas. Y'all gonna get beat by the Lakers.
Like he's an NRA card-carrying member.
Like, come on.
So we're picking an upset there. 2 of the 3 of us have the Lakers beating Memphis. I've got Golden State over Sac in
So do
7.
Easy.
They're the betting favorite, by the way.
Are they the betting favorite? Yeah, I think it's going to go.
They're a heavy betting favorite.
So do I.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So do I.
My good. Well,
They're
I mean,
minus
they're
240 to win the series.
See, I can't get out of my head that they're the defending champs and they're the Warriors. I know they're
4-1.
getting old, but
4-1. Sacramento gets 1 game at home to avoid elimination in the sweep.
Steph Curry ain't let Mike Brown beat
Ever.
him. It ain't gonna happen.
Listen,
probably not.
He has a cheat code in the playoffs where every single time he do something, you think it's going in.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And you know it. That
Usually in a big moment.
You know that defeats the odds. You know statistically it's not possible,
Wiggins
but
is
you
back.
think it's going in.
Right.
Wiggins took care of it.
Wiggins is back.
He off.
Yeah. Then the 4-5 in the
Before
West.
4-5, Jay.
Yeah,
We talked about the NBA possibly wanting New York to do well.
sure.
Could you imagine the NBA
Both LA teams.
not just that, not wanting a LeBron Steph second-round playoff series?
It'd be money.
If the Lakers beat the Grizzlies
It's-
and the Warriors beat
it's-
the Kings, we have LeBron Steph round 2.
It's
Just
bankable money.
Hey, Mikey.
Put 2 and 2 together.
Mikey,
you're
they
right.
sit,
That's
they
a good
sit in the
point.
league office because they have a big board where they lay out all the possibilities here.
Our what ifs.
They
Our dream
They
scenarios.
sitting out here like, Get ready to sell these.
Can I
Get ready to
ask-
sell
can
this.
I-
Just saying.
Can I ask y'all this? I think the only way that that anybody in the league office or any of the sponsors or television stations like the Cavs is if the Cavs upset people and then they see LeBron in the finals.
Oh yeah, listen, a Cavs-Lakers final would be
Would a
money.
Cavs-Lakers final be huge?
They
Or-
would- yes, absolutely.
Hey, Jay.
Now I still think they'd rather have the
Yeah, that's-
Celtics and
yeah,
Lakers.
right.
It always starts
Jay,
there.
Explain to the people out here when you get the scenario matchups that you look, the price that they charge. They've already figured out what the pricing is for different scenarios.
So-
Right. Well,
They
I'll
got-
tell you this though.
they
Here's
got
the way it's
variable-
sold.
they got variable pricing?
No, they don't. But here's the way it's sold. It's sold on an anticipatory number based on last year. So what did the West Conference second round finals do last year? So it's sold on a certain expectation. However, if viewership is expected to be 7 million per game and it ends up being 10 million per game, that sets the rate for next year.
Okay, so
it's money in the bank.
you putting that? Okay,
So
you
now,
locking that away.
Now, what may happen is if the inventory isn't completely sold out, it likely is. But if it isn't, and suddenly you've got a
Slots.
Steph LeBron matchup in round 2, the price of poker for those ads just went way up. If they haven't already been sold, if they've been sold, it's an agreed upon number. They have to pay what they agreed to pay. But if there is unsold inventory, and it looks like it's going to be the Lakers and the Warriors in round 2, you're going to pay
A premium.
conference semifinal or conference final prices for the conference semifinals. Look at it this way: if you say, yeah, I've got a round 2 matchup between Memphis and Denver, or not even Memphis and Denver, Memphis and Sacramento, that excites nobody.
At all.
At
all.
If I have to watch gasoline evaporate on my hot sidewalk, I might pick that
that
over
like-
watching that
is that
series.
like- is that-
But if you tell me it's the Warriors
evaporate.
and the
Hey,
Lakers,
Jay, is that like?
I'm dropping everything.
Jay, is that like UConn versus San Diego State? I
Yes.
I'm not here. I'm not here for that.
I'm not here
Hey,
for
you
that.
know what?
But the
That-
Lakers
that-
and the
you're right.
Warriors,
That kind of
that will be viewed like a conference final
Yeah.
and maybe even like an NBA championship.
I will say this, McNuggets. I know you're a basketball guy. NBA playoff basketball to me is probably the second best prospect of like watching it behind the NFL.
Hey,
Like,
But I don't have to watch the first 3 quarters.
no. It's the
I don't.
fourth-
But the fourth quarter is
In
I
every
would say
game.
I would even argue with you and go this far. Outside of overtime hockey in the playoffs,
yeah.
fourth quarter NBA playoff
It's
is the
crazy.
best watch in sports.
Let me ask you this.
for my money.
It's
And
crazy.
you know how I feel
Hey,
about
you know how you
baseball.
feel about baseball.
But for me, where the action is and where the game is decided, give me the fourth
Jay,
quarter.
tell me what Warriors Phoenix is worth.
I forgot Phoenix had Durant. I forgot about
I mean,
that.
it's going to have great value because, again, you're going to see the matchups. If Durant has to face off against Golden State, I mean, they're going to be interested in that in Oklahoma City,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Brooklyn,
Yeah.
and everywhere in between.
Yeah.
Because it's got the personalities that
Right.
you want and the hatred.
And that's why I said the refereeing crew in all sports.
And they know that.
It's critical. You cannot have that product sitting on the sideline.
No.
It cannot
No.
be there.
That is facts. You do not see. When is the last time you saw a top big star foul out of a playoff game?
I know.
They will not
Brad,
allow that.
Brad, when I made my list down, I got right here, Cavs defeat Knicks 7. You had reminded me of something that I hadn't factored into my equation. And that's the fact that the NBA desperately wants the Knicks in the second round.
If it's close,
Desperately. And because I have this series so razor thin to begin with, you changed my mind
Oh, yeah.
when you said that. Because and we'll watch it and we'll talk about it here on this show on mornings after games.
and it's-
officiating is going to drive Cavs fans nuts, and it
Crazy.
may
And this
decide
is,
this
and this,
series.
and so people don't know, this is not a new occurrence.
No, it's been going
This
on
is
forever.
going on for years about the Knicks.
You're right.
Yes, it has.
Yeah.
Right? They've just
And
let,
other teams,
They
too.
just let them down
The
every time.
Celtics get breaks in the playoffs. Okay, McNuggets, we've got you. We do this thing called blind resume. I don't
Blind
know what
resume
that
game.
means.
2 things first. After the Cavs game on Saturday, we are doing a live Cavs post-game show, so make sure you tune in with myself, Anthony, and Earl. We'll be recapping the game live as it wraps up, going about an hour
So sometime
afterwards.
around 8:30-ish, right?
8:30-ish, yeah, depending on how the game goes. But we will be live on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show YouTube channel. Make sure you tap in for that. And also, if you need a snack to watch during the game, well, go buy some Built Bars. What are you waiting for? Use promo code LOCKDOWN15
Okay,
for 15% off at Built.com. I promise you, it will keep you full throughout the game.
We should send a box of those to the Cavs, by the way, before the series starts.
Beef Mobley up a little bit.
So, real quick, as I was making graphics this week, just preparing for the playoffs and stuff, this is not a better or worse than this was just some interesting stats I saw that I thought, if you took the name off, who would you think had a better season? Without any other context. Let's just player A versus player B.
Okay.
Pick.
So you're going to show us their numbers, but not their names.
Exactly. And then you're going to take either player A or player B. We'll show you who they are. This is not saying anyone's better or worse, just stats I thought were pretty comparable that I thought were interesting. So let's have a little fun with this. Let's take the first one, Steve. You have player A, who averaged 14.3 points, 9.8 rebounds, 1.7 assists, 1.2 blocks, or player B, 14.8 points, 9 rebounds, 3.9 assists, or 1 block. Who would you take in this scenario, player A or player B?
Give me B for the assists.
I'm going to take, I like player A's defense.
I'm going A because I think I know who A is.
And I think I do too.
Well, take out who you think it is or not, but just, you still would take A?
I mean, here, we have to kind of figure out who the people are, but A's got good numbers across the board.
I think they both have comparable numbers.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, A scores a little bit more, B scores a little bit more. A grabs a rebound a game more, but B, the reason I went with assists is because that's an additional 4 points per game for his team that he's directly responsible for. That's why I'm taking player B.
All right, let's see it, Steve. Player A was Jared Allen. Player 2 was Alperen Sengun of the Rockets.
My God. You know what, though? So here's what you run into. It depends on who you're playing with.
Yes.
Once again, this is not saying better or
So
worse.
those numbers in a
statistical anomalies.
Yeah, so here's the other side of my. Are you staying in Eastern Conference matchup, or are you talking about?
I know.
We're going across the league.
The teams these guys are playing for, some of them are going to have a cap on certain stat categories.
Right.
You know, if you're playing for the Cavaliers, your number, and you're not named Darius Garland or Donovan Mitchell, your points per game average is going to be lower than it would be for just about any other team.
You're right.
Yeah. And once again, I'm not saying people are better. This is just some comparison.
But that is interesting because I never would have guessed ever in a million years that was who that was.
All right, number 2. Let's take it, Steve. Player A averaged 12.1 points, 3.8 rebounds, 3.9 assists, and had a 12.4 PER this year, while player B averaged slightly less points, 11.4, more assists at 5.2, and had a higher PER, 13.6. Player A, player B. Who you taking?
I'm taking B.
I'm taking B too. I like the player efficiency rating and the assists.
Yeah, give me B.
But I know what he's doing. He's setting us up to have player B be trash, and player A is going to be a named player.
Yeah.
Carrots versus John Wall.
Ooh, interesting.
Wow.
Very interesting.
And you know what's so crazy about the league is once you get a bad rap, or once you
you done. You done.
Once
you've established that reputation, it's hard to break it.
It's over.
I mean, they just start buying you out, sitting you on the bench.
It's over.
You're right.
John Wall went from a guy who's a perennial All-Star guy to him and Bradley Beal saying they got the best backcourt going to the playoffs, and then now he's sitting on the bench.
He's just some dude
watching Kevin Porter Jr. jack up 96 shots in Houston. Bro, it just you like what happened, bro?
I know.
Once they give you that stigma, it's over.
John Wall had just talked crazy about his team in Houston, and they sent him back to Houston.
I know.
And they were like, "Oh,
how you like me now?
How you like me now?"
That's so dirty.
I always thought he was early in his career. I said, "This is a poor man's Allen Iverson."
Yeah.
And
even
now he's really a poor man's Allen Iverson.
Even worse because he don't really even finish that good around the rim like that. So at least Allen Iverson could finish over tall people
and take a game over.
Yeah,
if
right.
he had to.
Not just
Okay.
Real quick, we got 3 more, but first it is 12 o'clock, which means it is time to remind everybody that the lunch hour of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show is sponsored by Colleague Racing, the official NASCAR team of Northeast Ohio. We're going to pull up the next one. I got some additional context of these stats here. Steve, you can take the graphic full when you want. Player A here averaged 15.1 points, 9.6 rebounds, half a block, had a 50% field goal percentage, 30% from three. He shot 4 threes per game. As opposed to player B, 16.2 points, 9 rebounds, 1.2 blocks, 55-21 split. He shot fewer than 1 attempt per three. So player A,
I would hope so.
A 3-point shooter and relatively efficient. Player B, not. Who are you taking?
Give me B.
I'm troubled by.
B's
I mean,
a
it's
big
a
man. B's a
3-point
big
game
man.
now, and if you're.
They had the exact same PER, by the way. The exact same.
B's a big man.
I think it is too because the 21% from three.
1-3.
Gosh, that one's tough. But I still want a
Give me
player
A.
that can hit a 3. I give me A too. It's a perimeter game, and
Give me A.
B isn't doing any perimeter play.
This one was the best one. Take it, Steve. How about Bobby Portis versus Evan Mobley? Mm-hmm. Would you ever expect that?
I should have known it was Mobley when with the 3-point numbers.
Yeah.
I was afraid I didn't think they were that low.
Yeah, it's when
is
you
low.
do when you.
And we keep saying, if he can develop that shot.
By the way, Portis only played 27 minutes a game. He was one of the most efficient dudes in the league this year. Only 27 minutes.
So that's another thing too. You got to look at that. Like maybe I don't know what the sample size is on them. What minutes you got? What.
Mobley played 34, just for comparison.
Oh well, that's another thing too. Like, wouldn't it be interesting if Evan Mobley just started getting like 25 points a game in the playoffs?
See, I don't know if he can
Like
on this roster.
Right? Could he? And under what circumstances could you be like? Evan Mobley led the Cavs in scoring again today, and he had 30.
I can't imagine.
Who got hurt?
Yeah, I can't imagine that. And you know what? As we've talked a lot about, obviously that would be a ceiling, but can he become a Kevin Durant type? Mm-hmm. Can he develop that outside shot? The more and I know he's so young, and that's got to be factored in, but Kevin Durant's shot was always in college. Kevin Durant could shoot.
Kevin Durant was a shooter.
He was a shooter.
He came out the womb and pulling up from 15.
He was probably tall enough to do it.
Came
but
out
Mobley's lack of a shot is so jarring that you start to wonder.
Even if he got
that probably isn't his ceiling, and that's not a bad thing.
I'm starting to think it's more like Kevin Durant, LaMarcus Aldridge.
He's
type.
more Garnett than Durant.
I think I like that one too. I like
Who's
that
more?
too.
Who you say? You said Kevin, Mobley's more Garnett.
Than Durant.
Yeah. He's just never going to be that outside force.
I think he might have that LaMarcus Aldridge range when he's back in Portland. He give you that. Like by the way, I was just in the time machine the other day. I got in the time machine and I was watching the New York Knicks versus the Chicago Bulls.
Who was in there?
And your man, X-Man Xavier McDaniel
was
knocking down 18-footer after 18-footer. And I'm saying, bro, this is the hottest I've ever seen this man in his life. The X-Man was not hitting like that. I don't understand that. By the way, he had his own shoes, too. It was black and white, and they had this little X. I remember that. Yeah. But I'm like, when did X-Men start? And then I just noticed that the Knicks had every power forward. They had a whole team full of power forwards.
Yeah, they did. That was their thing.
Mason, Oakley,
Charles Smith. They just kept rotating them in.
Yeah.
Goons. Shout out to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, go
Different
ahead.
time.
We got 2 more.
Okay.
Let's take the next one, Steve. Player A averaged 28 points per game, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 48% from the floor, 38% from 3. He attempted 9 threes a game, had a PER of 23 and a 33.3% usage rate. Player B averaged 25.6 points, 8.6 rebounds, 1.9 assists, 51 from the floor, 39 from 3 on 8 attempts per game, had a 26% usage rate and a PER of 22.
Okay, that one's really close. Really close.
You got.
But I like those rebounds, man.
Is that Donovan Mitchell versus?
That's Donovan Mitchell versus 25. 8.
Durant?
It's not Randall, is it?
Take it, Steve.
Could be Randall.
Oh,
Larry Market.
Oh, damn.
I knew
something like that.
Look at those numbers.
Hey,
My God.
Once again, context, Utah,
I
terrible
know,
team, lot
I
of
know,
opportunities.
I
but
know.
By the way, if
It's like Kevin Love in Minnesota.
If-
Somebody's got to gather those stats.
If the Cavs had Lauri Marketing and Donovan Mitchell, they would win the championship.
Well, you wouldn't have Donovan Mitchell without Lil
I'm
Mark.
Yeah,
just
but
saying.
that's
like
your cake
it's
and
greed.
eating
It's
it.
greed.
We have Donovan Mitchell because we let
It's
Lauri
greed.
Markkanen go.
But I'm just saying, that piece, can you imagine?
No, I
that
know.
piece right there, I would be like, Milwaukee who? We got 3 7-footers. Then Donovan Mitchell?
Yeah, that would be a mean lineup.
That's mean.
Mean lineup.
That's
All right, what's
not
the last
happening.
one?
And the last one, player A averaged 23.3 points, 6.4 rebounds, 8.4 assists, but was very inefficient from the floor. Player B, 21.6, 2.7, 7.8, a little more efficient, slightly higher PER. They both played almost identical minutes per game, so there's no finagling.
The
with
B player is Darius Garland.
Yeah.
I don't love the field goal percentage of A, but the production in every category is more. Now, it's probably volume related, but give me A.
I'll take B.
I think A
We
might
think
be.
B's Garland, right?
I think A might be Harden.
It's not Harden. It's LaMelo Ball.
Shut up.
LaMelo versus Garland.
Shut up.
Once again, we're not saying players are better, just numbers. When you looked at them, I was like, damn,
that's why
those
you
were
can't. That's why you can't look at numbers.
pretty close.
It
Numbers
really
lie.
is. You know what? Brad just nailed it. The bottom line, the thesis statement to this exercise is you can twist numbers and say anything you want with them.
And you put anything. I was just listening to you talk about Lauri Markkanen. You know, Angel Reese was on Maryland's team last year.
I did not know that
she transferred out.
until after the
So if you said Angel Reese back on Maryland's team, well,
championship. What you mean?
Now, what happened with Angel Reese that she
nothing happened. What happened was there were
Issues?
It's not enough air to breathe for everybody.
Oh, okay.
They typically probably had 5 WNBA players.
Yeah.
And in order for all of them to coexist, you have to give up some of your game, right?
Yeah. You got to
And
be
everybody
very selfless.
Everybody don't want to do that, right?
Right.
Because that is not success to them, right?
Right.
So people need to breathe and they want to move on. Well, she leaves. Diamond Miller game goes this way. Cheyenne games go this way, right?
Right.
So that's how it works. But I'm just saying that's why you can't always look at numbers.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
can't do it.
Can't do it.
Tricky, man. Their numbers are tricky.